Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Thursday, the 29th of January. With McShane, we're reading our way through the book of Esther, today chapter 6. In it, Haman the Agagite is infuriated by Mordecai, tells his wife and friends, and they say to him, well, have him executed. Go to the king and ask him to execute him. So Haman erects a pole or a post or gallows outside his house and goes off to the king's palace to arrange for Mordecai to be executed. Meanwhile, the king hasn't been able to sleep. He reviews court records and finds that Mordecai saved him from assassination and nothing was done for Mordecai. Just then Haman arrives, and the way the timing works out, you think there's got to be something behind this. This isn't just coincidence. Haman arrives and the king says to him, what should I do for somebody that I want to honor? And Haman, like so many proud, self-assured, arrogant people, assumes the king wants to honor him. So he concocts this wonderful ceremony that should be conducted for, essentially saying, they'll do this for me. And the king says, great idea, now you go and do exactly what you've told me to Mordecai. And so he goes and does it because the king has said. Reading from verse 12, afterwards Mordecai returned to the king's gate. But Haman rushed home with his head covered in grief and told Zeresh, his wife, and all his friends everything that had happened to him. His advisors and his wife Zeresh said to him, since Mordecai, before whom your downfall has started, is of Jewish origin, you cannot stand against him. You will surely come to ruin. As I read that, I thought, wonderfully insightful, and it really does speak about God in the situation. Now, they don't mention God, but it's unlikely that they think that there's something about his Jewishness and his nationality. Rather, they recognize the God of the Jews, the God of Israel behind it all, the God that looks after his people. And because Mordecai is one of God's people, therefore Haman is in trouble. And indeed, he is. And for Christians, we need to remember this. The people looked, and they didn't put it into theological terms, but they said, Mordecai has God behind him. Therefore, you can't do anything to him. You're going to become undone. And as Christians, as we go into life, the God that was with Mordecai is the God that is with us. And in the same way that God could turn everything and work it exactly for what he wanted, God can do exactly the same for us. And people can look at us and say, because that person is a Christian, you cannot stand against them. You cannot be victorious in your conflict. So as Christians, we can go into life not with an arrogance, that's what Haman had, but with a gentle confidence, because we are not alone. God is with us. He is working his purpose out, and ultimately his will prevail. And we can trust in that 100%. So step into life with confidence and know that as his children, as his people, walking with him, we are blessed.